I'm Kiira Benzing, the founder of Double I Studios. We are based between New York and Los Angeles. And I'm going to do that fantastic share screen moment here. So give me one moment while I share some exciting things with all of you and allow for this presentation to take over here.
We see it.
There we go. We should be in. So thank you so much for everyone gathering all of our minds here together. And since we are here gathering our minds and we know we can spark anything with our minds and our imaginations, whether it be new technologies, new techniques for filmmaking, or my favorite, which is new formats for storytelling, I would like for all of us to use our minds today, and I would like to challenge you all to think with radical curiosity. So I'm going to take you a little bit behind the scenes for what we're doing at Double I Studios in our work in live performance and virtual production. And so many of you have probably seen this, but for some of you who may have not, UTA put out this really unique study about what people are looking for, and that they did find that 96% of people plan to attend some form of live event once they feel safe again. But one of the pieces that most fascinates me is, what if we were to begin to design live events completely in virtual environments? And we heard Michael Wolf start our day off talking about some of the exciting things that are happening in Fortnite and Roblox, including live concerts and album releases. And there's so much further that we can go. We also know that we expect to see the VR market continue to grow and headset adoption growing. According to this information released by market research firm IDC, shipments of VR headsets grew 52.4% in Q1 of 2021, and headset shipments are expected to hit 28.6 million units in 2025. And as we continue to deepen experiences, giving people haptics, they will continue to feel even more fully embodied and very real experiences. We also have this wide array of tools at our disposal these days, these vast opportunities that are provided by these ever powerful game engines from Unity to Unreal, and this array of social VR platforms that are growing from VR chat to AltSpace, Mozilla Hubs to Facebook Horizon, and many more to come. So let's imagine that we are designing a live event in one of these game engines or social platforms. How do we convey the feelings that we get from being a part of the physical live audience at a physical event? We get a rush of sensations, a kinetic energy. We can feel the crowd, but how do we measure this? We can, of course, use crowd analytics and density fluctuation theory, but first we have to design with intentionality for these crowds. So that's what I'm going to take you behind the scenes of into some of our process. For my team at Double I Studios, we like to think that we combine heart with XR. And of course, we're working with the latest emerging technologies from volumetric capture to AR to VR. But particularly in VR, we believe in social connection. VR can be solitary and lonely, but we want to design experiences that make them accessible for the greater collective. We want to make sure that the content is emotionally driven so that our audiences experience a wide range of emotions. And we're hoping to create the unique and unexpected, because we want to make sure that since it's in VR, they can only experience it in VR and not in the physical world. And our work has shown at many of the world-renowned film festivals and venues, from Lincoln Center to Sundance to the Venice Film Festival, and we've won some fancy awards in the past few years. But the area of interest for us for the last 5 years has been infusing live performance with virtual reality. We began working with improvisation and our social and multiplayer experiences on rather difficult topics like gentrification. Then we continued to work in social VR with Philip Rosedale's team at High Fidelity, and we published a white paper at IEEE, presented this at Yale University, about avatar selection and live performance. And our goal continues to be about bringing professional actors and Broadway technologists and technicians into VR. In 2019, you see this image here. This is from a show called Love Seat that we presented at the Venice Film Festival. This is our characters, Abby and Bruce, originated by the actors Jen Harris and Jonathan David Martin. And we performed this show in a hybrid format simultaneously in front of a physical audience and a virtual audience, knowing that the virtual audience might not be there yet, but if we build the stage, they will come, the avatars will come. So we built a physical theater as well on the Lazaretto Vecchio, which was formerly a hospital for victims of the plague. And that resonated with us on many levels in the world that we're living in now. So I'm going to take you behind the scenes to Love Seat.
I've never met anyone like you, perfect partner. You know, like an electric blanket plugged into the sun.
I will transform into a colossus of organization to protect you, my shield of preparedness.
Let's fly.
No. Don't fly the perfect partner over a portal to another dimension. Are you nuts?
He's walking where no bee ever has.
Huh. But he landed anyway.
The fresh chance to pair an ordinary someone with the perfect partner.
I see a face that's still ready to just jump into the unknown and witness nature's like chaotic wonders with exhilaration instead of fear.
Keeping a thing in maintenance. That is a daily, hourly battle against every force that exists.
If you saw your perfect partner sitting in that chair, what would you see?
So the Lazaretto Vecchio, which is where we built this theater and where the entire VR program for the Venice Film Festival takes place, contains a hospital that housed victims of the plague. It was built in 1403. And this was also a time, of course, when theaters and forms of entertainment were shut down and the doctors wore masks, those iconic Venetian masks. And never did we imagine leaving the Lazaretto in 2019 that hardly a year later, our world would follow such a history. But we've been embracing the technology and the tools. And since March 2020, we've taken all of our work fully into the virtual worlds, using game engines, VR headset, and virtual collaboration tools to create our productions and even to train our new talent. And that goes from stage managers to technicians to the actors. We literally go up into the clouds in our design meetings and oversee our world and have this incredible vantage point to be able to talk about how can we move the set? How do we want to rescale things? This is Beth Cates here, who's our lighting designer on our team. And she's talking to our engineers in the lighting department about how they should move the lights so that we can create more shadows in the world. And all of this is happening in real time. And we feel an incredible sense of presence because we're all there together and we can pass and share conversation and engage with each other. Last year, we also founded the virtual Repertory Theater. Since Broadway had completely shut down, we thought this is an opportunity for us to train people that have never thought about using these technologies and to give them a new skill set. So we feel like we're building a new ecosystem right now. We are creating new job opportunities for people to work in the virtual field. And we built this new production, Finding Pandora X, which we premiered at the Venice Film Festival in 2020. And it's like a mix of live theater meets an escape room. The story structure is a branching narrative, and it's in the genre of a quest. And the audience is actually given a very interactive role and a collective role. They represent members of the Greek chorus. We actually give them an avatar, like a costume to change into. They get to take that away with them after the production. And collectively, they use their voice to express key lines. They have to solve puzzles, to work with the actors, and they engage in participatory storytelling. And what we found in our survey, our exit surveys with the audiences coming out of Love Seat, is that our audiences wanted to be more engaged. So these are things that we started to build in for them, even higher levels of interactivity into this production of Finding Pandora X. So now I'll take you behind the scenes with this trailer, which has been a little temperamental today. So if it stops, I'll try to start it again.
So what do you say? Are you ready to do something? Now remember, Zeus is a little message.
So you can see from this trailer just how much the audience moves. They're constantly on the go, they're active, and they have to keep up with the story and the performers. And something that we've been measuring and finding is that our audiences they kind of fit these types and styles for engagement. We find that there are these observer types. They want more passive content, they want to lean back, but we're going to push them forward actually. We'll give them opportunities to hang back in the show, but they do have to teleport to keep up. We have these curious wanderers who are incredibly exploratory. They want to uncover things in the environment and discover. We have connectors. These are people who really want to socially communicate. They want to comment on the action happening, and they want to use their voice to express themselves to the actors in the show. We have these active adventurers who we find they're the ones who really want to play. If we give them something to use, something to break a narrative object in the show, they want to smash things. And the rule breakers, of course, who can be more disruptive, but we always find that that's teaching us something. You can use those rule breakers to learn something from. Here is an image that we have from our character of Zeus playing with a Greek chorus. Another thing that we've discovered as we've moved more virtually is that our virtual audiences are behaving differently than our physical ones. They have different expectations. So when we get into these virtual worlds, if we give our audience hands, now they have the ability to embody a character. And in our show, they are embodying this collective Greek chorus, which becomes a new reality for them. That embodiment is very powerful. It changes everything. Our relationship to the story now is that of a first person, but with that also comes these new expectations. So how can we design for these tiers of engagement and those different audience types? What do we allow our audiences to do? The moment we enable them to pick something up, there's a new expectation. They want to play with that narrative object and see what the physics can do. And of course, physics can do whatever we dream of because it's virtual reality. So something we've been doing is making sure that we talk to our audiences and opening up some of our process early on. We've been asking our audiences what they want. And we ran these experiments with Culture Hub and La Mama Theater from New York in a series called Experiments in Digital Storytelling, where we ran these live interactive word clouds with our audience. We asked them about their dreams. We asked them to share some personal things about their shadows. And we asked them in a fantastical way what superpower they would most like to have in the next story that we would build. And of course, they all chose the superpower to fly. So this arose from this kind of collective consciousness, and we integrated that in this production of Finding Pandora X. There are different ways to fly in VR. A few that have been built in the last few years are through gaze activation or through pointing, but we wanted this to be more embodied because of that data that came back about our audiences wanting to be more interactive. So for flying in our production, you have to physically move your arms and engage your controllers. You're actually moving as if you're flapping wings. And that feeling is thrilling, but it's also incredibly playful and silly. And it gives us this ability to become a child again. This image that you see is from our Greek chorus. They've all learned how to fly. This is at the end of our show, and they're over 100 feet above our world right now, up near, quite high because they're up near our moon. We've also learned that now that we've opened our shows to the public and we're able to gather even more data outside of the film festival circuit, the data that's been very exciting coming into us is that our audiences are very global. During the film festival circuit, the audiences were predominantly coming from Europe and the US. But now we see that our numbers are growing from the Asian markets, and those are coming from Japan, China, South Korea, and Taiwan. So we're gathering all of these different people together from all over the world, and then we're creating these moments of interaction and participatory storytelling. What's really beautiful is to watch them work together and solve puzzles together, even if they don't speak the same language, to watch them share a narrative object with each other. And of course, there is inherent risk when we're running a live event. This image is from a puzzle that has to be solved collaboratively during the show. It requires multiple people working together, and it won't stop until everyone participates. On top of that, it's related to timing, and it happens on a story branch that has to time out with the other story branch so that these pieces join up together again with the live actors and everyone back in the same world and same scene. So behind all of these moments is this human presence. And I think that's what's really important for us to remember. And thank you to the people behind this platform right now, the MESA team that's even pulling all of this together. It's this fusion of human effort and technology. So our team is really embracing that risk because we think that with it comes a lot of reward. When we experience a live event in VR, we leave not only with the feeling, but with the memory as though we have lived through something. If the audience grabs that golden key in the scene you just saw before, or they offer a goblet to Zeus, or they grapple across the sky, or they learn to fly up towards the moon, they are imprinted with this memory of experience. And so we really believe that everything begins with us, our ideas, our open minds, our willingness to explore these new forms of storytelling with radical curiosity. And I look forward to seeing you all in the metaverse. Thank you so much.